Hikaru, it's so good to see you here in Cyprus. Thank you for doing this. I have one question to you
Sure.
that has been on my mind. How has been the preparation leading up to this? Because I've never seen you this serious about something related to classical chess or a tournament. That's the feeling I got just by following the sort of the road to the candidates.
It's an interesting take. So, I mean, I think first things first. I obviously knew I was going to qualify for the candidates after Norway chess, just based on the way the ratings were, regardless of what tournaments I played. So I had a lot of time to obviously get ready for this event. And I think I did a good job of preparing. I don't think I did anything out of the usual, though. I mean, in terms of being more serious, I actually would say it's the exact opposite. I feel no pressure. I feel no nerves. I mean, maybe that might be a bad thing, of course, but I'm just glad to be here and playing some classical chess. So that's my view. I know some people won't believe it, but that's how I feel.
I thought you kind of gave up on a few things to sort of prepare for the candidates. That was one of the reasons. Like generally you would play many things, online tournaments and so on, but I think you specifically chose preparation for candidates over certain things.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, that leads to a much different topic, which would be related to streaming specifically. I think, one thing that's very different is Chess.com made some big changes to their online tournaments, to the Esports World Cup qualification, and every event that they hold is extremely serious. There's nothing that's actually casual or fun anymore. So for me, I would say that with Chess.com making these big changes to tournaments, I kind of felt that that it would be more practical to prepare for the candidates than just play Title Tuesday every week. I mean, it's obviously a very, very strong tournament with very low prize money. So if there's something I prioritize, that's kind of what I would say that I changed. But it's not really that much different, I would say, than even last candidates. Maybe I streamed like 4 days a week versus 2, but I mean, at least for me, it didn't feel much different.
I was there at the last candidates, and one can say, like, if you didn't have those 2 games against Vidit, you would have won it.
Question, yeah.
Right, because you were there at the top. Even in the last round, you were in with the chances, which means that like you had such a huge margin in the tournament.
I mean, I know everyone likes to look at it, that things could have played out the same way. I mean, here's my view. I think the tournament would have been very different. So I'll give you the perfect example. So when I lost to Vidit in the second round, and then I drew a couple games, I played Ali Reza, I believe, in the 5th round. And in this game against Ali Reza, there was a critical moment where I could have made a draw towards the end. And then I decided instead to play on with the rook versus the knight and the pawns. And if I hadn't lost the game to Vidit, I would have made a draw in that game. So I think whenever people try to act as though like those 2 games are the difference between me winning the tournament and not, it's very questionable. I also would say, looking back at how the tournament transpired, the second game against Vidit, I played something that I kind of regretted a little bit, going for this G5 idea versus playing something like G6 because I created this early weakness. But seeing what happened, it actually was the right choice. Because again, if I don't take that chance, if I win those 3 games, then maybe if I get a draw, it works out. But I felt I needed to try. So I don't really have much in the way of like serious regrets related to those games, because I just know the tournament would have been completely different. You look at Gukesh, for example, he doesn't lose to Ali Reza, his tournament's completely different. Like, I mean, the dynamics of the entire tournament just changed from game to game. So it's not really that big of a deal to me. I mean, I had the chance in the last round, but Gukesh was very solid. So, it played out the way that it was supposed to. So that's how it goes.
And for the fans here, one thing that they are all looking forward to is you winning, because that would be like the world's biggest chess streamer versus Gukesh, and like that would blow the world of chess away, like with the numbers and so on. Does that come to your mind in any way?
I mean, I definitely am aware of it. Like, there's a very fine line because there's a line between being optimistic and being very pessimistic. And I would just refer people to a Chess.com interview I did with Mike Klein the other day in terms of my feelings about the whole online space at the moment. But in general, yes, I think that when I look to the future, if I were to win the candidates, it would be a very big boom for chess that I don't really see any other possible way of that happening. That being said, of course, I don't really look at it as like pressure or I'm supposed to win or this or that. I just want to play good chess, and if I play good chess, good things will happen.
And do you, like, in your mind think about like Fabiano being one of the favorites here or something like that? Because I have actually done interviews with several people and they all were like, Hikaru We do not know with what form he will come because he hasn't played much. But Fabi, with his consistency, may be one of the favorites. But most of the people have given you and him the kind of the top billing.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to know what will happen. I think the fact of the matter is, if we're there towards the end of the tournament, whether it's Fabi or myself, and we're within, say, half a point or 1 point of the lead, we'll be able to create chances and possibly win. I think anytime people act like so-and-so is a favorite, it's kind of silly. I don't really mind it when, say, random pundits, random chess fans have their predictions and whatnot, but I think, to me it's a little bit kind of, I don't want to say irresponsible, but very questionable when I hear strong players like Savidler giving opinions, because they've actually played the candidates and they know how random it is. So to say so-and-so is a favorite, so-and-so shouldn't do well, I think it's a little bit questionable, but nonetheless, obviously, by rating, we're the top 2 seeds, and I think, in so much you can say we're favorites, we are, but again, I think players like Pragnananta and Sindarov very easily could win as well. So, if it was just based off rating, why play the tournament? That's always been my view, so I don't think it's going to be as simple as I will win or Fabi will win. Maybe we'll win, but it's going to be an exciting event.
And Hikaru, we see here Chris over here with you. Mm-hmm. Do you have any other people who've joined you in the team here? Or is there anyone you could reveal?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Atusa's here. She'll come for the opening ceremony a little bit later on in the evening. So she is here, as well as my son. And my mother is here also. So yeah, I mean, there are quite a few people here, but I think in general, for me, having played in many candidates tournaments, I'm just enjoying the vibe, just looking forward to the games. I don't, as I said before, I don't feel any pressure. I know some people will say that I'm supposed to win, I'm a favorite. Others will say I have zero chance. Either way, I have a three-week vacation here in Cyprus, so I'm just enjoying it all.
Amazing. And lastly, I want to ask you, we saw in FIDE's interview, you said, what are you looking forward to this year or
yes.
some? And you said to be, I just don't remember the exact word, but to be a good father?
To be a good father, or to
yes.
be a best father, I don't know, something along those lines, yeah.
It's so wholesome and wonderful line.
I mean, I think what I would say is that in chess, the mental aspect is very underestimated. I think that top players don't spend enough time focusing on that part of the game. So I'll give you an example. If you look at Pragnananta, I think he was the one who said he likes chess and he hates chess, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I think every chess player at some point has felt that way about the game, because there's so many highs and so many lows, so many turns come down to 1 or 2 moves, being in one game, being the difference between winning or having a terrible event. So I think the mental side is very underestimated, and I think one of the good things for me, at least, is there's so many other things that I have going on. So I don't really feel the same pressure to, say, win this tournament or feel like it's, the biggest thing in my life at the moment, because it definitely is not.
Thank you, Hikaru, for your time, and we are excitedly looking forward to your games.
And
Thank you.
3 questions to follow
Sure,
up
yeah,
this
sure.
rapid fire. Were you in double mind even for a moment to come to this tournament with all the global situation?
No, I was not of 2 minds at all with this tournament. I've already spoken about it. I know Humpy had her concerns and withdrew. I know Fabi expressed some concerns. I know that Vadim wanted to hold the event in Germany. Rex sent a letter and wanted to hold the event in St. Louis. But for me, I mean, I was never really in doubt, because I felt that this location objectively was the best of the options. And I mean, it's very hard to know what will happen based on the news, but I don't really see there being a serious military threat to this island.
And did you travel with the same route you had booked earlier, or you had to change your flights?
No, I mean, I came from the US, so I went from the standard route. I just went to Germany, and Germany to Cyprus. So I had no issues at all with the travel. I know perhaps some of the Indian players had to change their routing because they might have been going through the Emirates or somewhere, but for me it was very smooth. I mean, no issues at all.
And what would be your description in one line of your style of play to those who are very new to chess?
My style of play is creative and exciting.
Creative and exciting. If you had a lifespan of 1,000 years, how many years would you play chess?
If I had 1,000 years to live, I think I'd probably spend 25 years and the rest on other things. Similar to what I've done, actually. So.
And is chess more like a battle, an argument, or a conversation for you?
I think what chess is depends on the opponent I play against. I think some players it's a battle, other times it's just a conversation. So it really depends on the opponent, but one of those two.
Thank you.
Sure.